and it's up to you.
You
to
just
make it
gave
happen.
some really, really good advice to illustrators. So I'm going to try to extract one other piece of advice from you that you would give to illustrators coming out of all those art colleges in England and the US and Canada. What else would you say to them, having worked with illustrators in your business all your life? Since we are seeing this change away from intensive graphic illustration to photography.
I think on the one hand, look beyond conventional book publishers. As I say, I do think many digital developers will soon start to look to produce their own content.
Yes.
So at the moment they're
Yes.
buying in content from publishers, but they will soon start to feel confident about buying in directly and making their own content.
Yes.
So speak to them.
Speak to
Who knows
them.
what might happen? I mean, it won't happen as quickly perhaps as it might with a magazine or book publisher. But don't say, oh gosh, they're digital publishers, there's no point talking to them. We all need to speak to everyone. We don't know where the industry is going to go. We're all here struggling to survive. We're all here trying to find new ways of getting out there, of finding work.
What about an author illustrator type person who thinks they have a good idea for a nonfiction, maybe a biography or a science story? Could they come to a book packager and pitch like they would to a publisher, and then could you in turn pitch to publishers, or is that a little rarefied air for?
It used to happen. We did act almost as agents. It's less common now because it's more difficult to us, for us as packagers, to convince publishers that we have the right product. Most publishers now have very clear idea of what they want. They have their finger on the market.
Yeah.
They know they have their own niche in the market, and they fill it to perfection.
Yeah.
That's a great skill. For us as an outside company to come and persuade them that what we have is perfect is difficult. So I have to say, when we first started, we were often pitching ideas to publishers, and we would do presentations much as you might do an illustration portfolio, and we're constantly pitching to publishers to try and persuade them to take our products. We learned over the years that was counterproductive. And so instead what we try to do, and again this comes back to the conference or coming here to Texas Library Association, we try and speak to the publisher, try and understand what their niche in the market is, what they're looking for. You won't determine that in any other way than coming to a conference like this, or like our conference. That's where publishers will tell you what they're going to produce. If you go to a bookstore or whatever, you will see what they've done, not what they're about to do. So you have to come to conventions like this to get an inkling of what's coming up in the future, and that's where you make your pitch. You make yourself aware to them of what you can do, and again, don't pigeonhole yourself. Don't say, I do illustration for key stage 6 to 8. Let the publisher determine what it is. Each publisher will look at your illustration and pitch it in a completely different way. So bite your tongue when they ask you, where, what age range is it for, or what is your special niche?
They know more than you.
Try not to answer that question. Let them make their own minds up. So, again, this is skill you learn in marketing yourself. Again, that's what we try and do in our conference.